So I've been a naturalist here at Hueston Woods since 2006, working here at the Nature Center, working with our Raptor Rehab Program, doing educational programming both here in the park and in the community. We've run a rehab program here at Hueston Woods for many years, kind of long before I worked here, but we focus on raptors, on birds of prey. So we take in injured hawks and injured owls that, for whatever reason, can't survive on their own in the wild. And our goal is to get them healthy enough that we can then turn them loose again. So here's some of our educational birds that unfortunately weren't able to be released. Some of them came through our rehab facility, some of them came to us from other rehab facilities. So we have a couple of barred owls. One of them came to us with a broken wing. Unfortunately, it just didn't heal well enough to release the owl. Our other one unfortunately got tangled up in some fishing line. We have our red-shouldered hawk, Alan, who we named before we realized that Alan is actually a female. Similar story, had a broken wing. Unfortunately, part of her wing had to be amputated. So now she hangs out, and she is currently sharing a cage with what I think is one of the more interesting ones here, is our rough-legged hawk, Nanook. Rough-legged hawks are more of a northern species. We don't really see them most of the year. But during the coldest parts of the winter, they'll make it this far south. Unfortunately, this one injured, well, again, hit by a car, hurt its wing, so it never made the trip back north. And this very vocal one that is also trying to get our attention. This is Abigail, one of our two bald eagles. She did not come through our rehab facility. We actually got her from another rehab called Black Swamp Raptor Center up in northern Ohio. She fell out of her nest when she was really young and she broke her wing, so she was unable to be released. They had her for a long time. A few years ago, they had asked and called and asked if I would take a few of their birds as they were going to be closing down. And she is definitely one that you hear quite a bit around here. She is a very, very vocal bird. This is Colonel. She is one of our red-tailed hawks that has been with us for about 17 years now. It's kind of an interesting story. The person that hit her, he knew that he hit her. He actually turned around and went back looking for her, but he said he didn't see her in the road or ditches anywhere. And so he figured she must have been okay and went on about his business. And then later that afternoon, when he went to pick his son up from school, I guess his son came out and asked why there was a bird sitting in the back of the truck. So he'd been driving around with her all day and didn't know it. So this is Clyde. Clyde is another very common species. He is a barred owl. Also came to us because he was hit by a car. He is one that can fly a little bit, just not well enough that our vet would clear him to be released back into the wild. So hangs out with us, and I don't think he likes me very much, so he tends to keep his eyes on me a lot. No, I think in general, people are able to see these birds a little more common now. I know when I was growing up, it was pretty rare to see certainly the eagles, but even red-tailed hawks and some of the owls. Their populations have really come on strong. So now we see a lot more eagles in the state, and it's hard to drive down a highway without seeing a red-tailed hawk sitting there looking for some food.